Okay guys, so before you're gonna start setting up your Klaviyo email notifications using the flows functionality, first and foremost, just go to your application, your Rush application, go on the shipments, and make sure that you're gonna get familiar with the statuses and substatuses that your shipments are currently getting on a daily basis. So what I mean by that is that you can see that right now in this for the specific shipping tracking number, we have an exception, which is the main status, and package disposed is the substatus. If I scroll down, you can see that we have in transit and shipment delayed substatus. If I scroll down, you can see that I have delivered, which is the main status, and add the mailbox. So for the sake of the demo, I'm gonna pick up a main status, and we can speak about substatuses later down the video. So if I go to Klaviyo, assuming that you have connected your Klaviyo account yet, under the flows on the left hand side, if you want to start from scratch, and that's probably the case, and I have a bunch of flows currently being set up right now, and I can go inside of them one by one, but for the sake of the demo, let's click on create a flow. You need to click on create from scratch and just name your flow. If you're putting up shipping flow for delivered event or in transit, etc. If you're if you don't have any clue about which one to start with, simply go to our documentation page, which is technically gonna provide you with a walkthrough tutorial on how to connect Klaviyo and Rush. But scrolling down, you're gonna see the type of events and trigger that you can use within the Klaviyo account, and I'm not going to spend time on them right now, but technically, assuming that you want to create a new shipment status, rush underscore shipment underscore new underscore status will be the one that you want to pick up. It will be tightly connected to either a delivered main status or in transit, or if you scroll down, there are a bunch of other statuses along with their substatuses that you can use in order to get the best out of Rush and Klaviyo connection. So going back, I'm gonna just do a simple delivered, and I'm gonna create a flow. From here, it's pretty much straightforward, but just remember that click on metric, and from the drop down, you're gonna be presented with a bunch of options. If you simply type in Rush over here, you'll only select the ones that we are sending to Klaviyo. As you can see, all of them have been laid in the documentation right over here with the appropriate information that is part of that specific event and trigger. So I'm gonna go with Rush shipment new status. Then from here, I need to create a filter, which means to say, I want to have it for delivered event. I'm gonna click trigger filters, and I'm gonna add a trigger filter. So from here, you won't see anything if you start clicking inside of that specific box. What you need to remember is that you need to create to select the proper dimension. If I open them up, these are all the properties that we're sending to Klaviyo, but for the sake of the demo, just type in status, and you need to pick up shipment status event. After that, you're either going to be presented with a list of events that are already been sent to Klaviyo from Rush, and Klaviyo is recognizing them, or if they're not visible, you don't need to worry about it. Technically, go back again here, and if you need to create for the delivered event, just copy and paste that part over here. If you want to go a bit further, simply in this case, whether you want to create for the at thrown door, which is delivered at the thrown door substatus event, you need to pick up all that piece of text, copy it, Control C, and go back here and paste it in. But since this is a substatus, as it's saying substatus is here, you need to select not shipment underscore status, but shipment, and I'm sorry about it, yeah, let's go here. So it will be substatus, and it will be substatus, and it's gonna say on the right hand side in the box in the gray area here, it's gonna say trigger filters, and it will be presented by shipment underscore substatus, and then it will be a bunch of list with available substatuses. But let's go back to the main status. and I'm gonna once again click on status, and I'm gonna select shipment status, and I'm gonna go with delivered. So either copy and paste it from here and just replace it within that specific area. Click save, and from here you're just ready to go. Technically, what we just set to Klaviyo, it will be like when the new event is happening. In this case, it will be rush shipment new status. What will be the status? It will be the filter trigger here, which will be shipment underscore status equals delivered. So in this case, the moment that Klaviyo receives property and an update from your store that a certain shipment has been delivered, it will pull the trigger and it will create a notification out. I'm gonna click done, and from here you can either pull up, SMS, email, and whatnot. Let's go with email, and I'm gonna throw it right over here. And some important things to remember, by the way, if you click on the email, technically the subject is pretty straightforward. It will be your order has been delivered, and bam, you're ready to go. But make sure that smart sending is turned off. And what I mean by that is that if a recipient of yours who is also getting a bunch of other emails at the same time in that specific day, whether it's going to be a post-purchase flow, an abandoned cart and whatnot, it doesn't really matter. If the smart sending is being activated and it's enabled, sometimes it will skip that email just because it's sending too much on a daily basis. So for the sake of having more control and more reach to your customers and making sure that they're gonna get the right message for the right shipping event, turn that off. And also it's a good idea to have UTM tracking turned on. So I'm gonna go back, and from here technically I'm gonna start working on the email template that will be sent out to your customers. But this is how you're setting up your events, triggers, and statuses and substatuses. And once again, go back to the documentation, scroll up and down, also go back to your shipments and get to know of your most recent information by simply going to, let's say, delivered tab, and you're gonna see exactly what kind of statuses you're capturing from your shipping carriers, and you can create the appropriate email flows within Klaviyo. In the next video, we're going to speak a little bit more about how to configure the email so that you're going to get the maximum out of it. But thank you so much for watching that video. If you have any questions, I'm always on the lookout to provide better support and more answers to you guys.